Oh, hey guys, famous Smeg refrigerator here, and I've been working on this thing for 3 years because it's my own fridge. Everything worked until it didn't work. Actually, it's the second fridge. The one I give discredit Smeg, but yeah, the first one had issues with the compressor. They replaced compressor, it died. This one, couple years in the making, stopped beeping. I added freon, put a valve on it. Find out that there's a leak, the freon leak, and I was about to throw this thing away, but I thought I'll dig into it. There was a bulge on the back wall here behind the condenser coil, and there was a bulge in this section here. I poked a little hole. Let that out, because yeah, this is not as effective when it's bulged out. But anyway, I kept refilling, and then eventually had a big block of ice. That's where all this rust is from. I went way further than any other tech would do with the fridge. I opened it up and I put the liquid neon oil, UV oil in it to try and find the leak. I was hoping it's gonna be somewhere here. Nothing showed up, and I was about to throw this thing away, but I started poking into it where the bulge was in the back, and I was just tracking the tube towards the bulge where from the other side was, and I found this joint here, and it's a little rusted here. There's some kind of silicone sleeve on there. It looks like it's a lurking joint. And if I shine with the UV light, this is the UV oil I was using, and then the UV glasses. I don't know if it's gonna work. Look at that. That's where it's leaking. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to fix this guy. If I try solder, I gotta strip all this styrofoam from here, insulate the tubes. Just anyway, but that's where the leak is. So it's a $3,500 fridge that possibly can be fixed. Oh, another thing. What happened? Compressor stopped working. I was getting no power. I realized the control board up the top, I pulled it out. The resistor burned out. I think it was running too much constantly, just overheated, burned out. So I got this thing rigged up with a manual thermostat, old school thermostat, 3-in-1 relay, and it runs. Basically, it runs on the schedule. Doesn't basically you can't adjust the temperature on the controls, but that was my workaround for the control board, because it's like if I get a new control board, it's gonna break anyway. So I was just buying some time there. But now if I fix the leak, I might fix the control board too, and then replace control board. And then I reached out to Smeg, and they sent me the manual, well, the parts diagram, and a wiring diagram. I didn't get the manual to run diagnostics or anything like that. So yeah, I'm kind of working with what I have. So, but I'm sure there's a lot of you guys trying to do that. I'm just pulling vacuum here, actually recovering the freon here right now, and I put way more freon than I was supposed to be in there, just to get this thing running. But now, since I'm gonna try attack this, I'm gonna disassemble. So I want to get a good vacuum, solder that, and then we'll see if I can fix it. So wish me luck. This is definitely an endeavor. Okay, so I was able to solder this joint. When I tried to heat up the pipe, it melted the aluminum, so I had to use like a very low flame and silver rods 15%. Is like a melting point is lower, and it looks like it's okay, but I had to use a little smaller diameter. I think it's like a standard 1/4 inch. I'm gonna go inside that one and inside this one to extend my joint, and gives me a little more to work with, even though I had plenty of tube here to keep retrying. So hopefully this will hold up. I'm getting there. I tried to use this MAP gas. I couldn't get the pipe hot enough, so I had to go to this guy here, MAP gas with oxygen, and use the 15% silver rods, and also wrap the cloth very close to the joint so the aluminum pipe wouldn't overheat. And that was enough to get this thing hot enough where it starts sucking the solder in without melting the aluminum. This one, I hope it's gonna be better, but I'm still gonna wrap, especially this one too, because there's another lurking joint here close by. They only used this section of copper where they attach the capillary tube. Here and there's aluminum. So anyway, so this one's gonna go inside and that one's gonna go inside. Alright, so this is my joint I'm gonna solder. Got the rag on both sides, high temperature, so it doesn't melt the cloth, that doesn't melt, the reflector doesn't melt, the styrofoam behind it. Just gonna heat it from underneath and get it really hot real quick. Copper to copper should go pretty easy. Okay, the first pressure test failed. I gave it 250 psi nitrogen, and 200 was holding up, and then all of a sudden popped through. I'm gonna have to redo this one. Second try, all prepped. I'm gonna try the skinny rod again, and I'm gonna be very careful with the flame. Kind of watch the melting point. See how it goes. So I cut the tube to length, so there's not much extra weight hanging on it. So if the aluminum starts melting, it doesn't, the rod, by the way, doesn't pull out, and wrapping the cloth really close to the joint feels like it's helping a lot. So the tube doesn't melt too soon. All right, let's hope this is a good one. Yeah, try number 4 or 5. I'm gonna do the heat sink, and gonna try not to pull it out, gonna just try to rebraze it. Add a little more solder. Yep, it's becoming a pain in the butt. That's alright. Keep trying, doesn't look pretty. When I got this clamp really close, I was able to get this thing really hot. Still, I see the aluminum starting to deform, but I keep seeing the crease of the cold joint. Maybe it looks a little better this time, but yeah, when I pressurize it, it keeps breaking the seal. So I'm gonna try different rods next time. I'm gonna let this one cool, pressurize it. If it's no go, I give up today. Anyway, I think I wasted a whole tank of nitrogen. Not the whole tank, at maybe a half. I was at like probably like 12,000, 10,000. These are $40 a pop for what I'm getting. Maybe it's worth it. It's a $3,000 fridge, and I feel like I got pretty close to the problem. The other solution would be run this whole line, find where it connects, and because eventually it turns into copper. The return light is copper here. Yeah. What a disaster. But maybe there'll be something out of it. Success. Can't get the focus. So I had to use a map torch and this stuff right here. L-cup brace. No flux needed. Amazing. I used this 15% silver. That's supposed to work with the with the aluminum and then the copper and this flux, but it would not. It would somehow it would not pull the flux into there. So this looks good. All right, gonna do the other side. This is the old one. Gonna cut this one off. I'm gonna unsolder that. Gonna wait till this cools down. Stick that in there. Yeah, way to go. Looks like we get in there. All right, getting closer. Filled it up with the foam. Tape it back together. Gonna look like new. The joint held up. Pulled a good vacuum. Pressurized with nitrogen. 250 psi as it held up. So put a new service valve on there. This first was nothing but the headache. Already, I blew out the control board, like transistor on it that controls the compressor. So I just put a manual thermostat in there for now. If I get this compressor resolved, I might get a control board for it.